The custom reporting feature of Sage Fixed Assets allows you to extend your normal reporting capabilities in two ways. It will give you the ability to customize reports within the application, as well as utilize a full-blown integrated version of SAP Crystal Reports 2016 to be able to create any type of ad hoc reports you need. For example, if you look at a standard depreciation expense report, and if this or any of the reports does not have all the columns of data you would like, and you would like to be able to change something, add or remove columns of data, you actually would have the ability to do that. In the standard reports, you can change the sort order of the report and save that as a custom report. You can do this up to 3 layers deep, so you can sort and subtotal by location, asset class, GL asset account, or anything you choose. Further customizing it, you can create custom versions of this report by adding or removing columns of data and even modifying header and footer information. For example, let's click on Customize Report. In this version of the Depreciation Expense Report, a column has been added, Current Net Book Value, that would normally be added in this report, and by selecting this checkbox, you will get a total at the end of that column. You can also change the orientation, and you can also go as far as modifying the header or footer of that report. You can add or remove a pretty large number of columns of data from these standard reports, as well as modify the column width. With any changes made, you can give it a new name, as I did in this case, by appending net book value by the end of the report name to indicate the difference in the version that was created. The additional capability that you would have would be to create an ad hoc report. Let's first go ahead and run that customized version of the depreciation expense report to see the difference in how this report now looks. In this one, remember the orientation to the landscape has been changed, and an additional column of data has been added at the end where current net book value was added. You can now see that column at the end. If you go to the last page, you'll see a summation of that column at the end. Let's take a look at creating a report from scratch. If you want to create a new report, give it a name and choose where you would like to save it. Let's leave it in the default path and click Create Report, which will launch a fully integrated version of SAP Crystal Reports. Nothing new has been added to it, so it's simply providing the system number and extension, but you could certainly add any field of information from your database. You can also do things such as add formulas. You can add SQL expressions and have parameter fields and so on. All of this would be done in the design view. For demonstration purposes, let's go ahead and open a report that has already been created. Go to Open an Existing Report, and you can see the one that was just created. But let's open one that's already completed. You can even have this refresh the data when you open it, since things may have changed. In Crystal Reports, you can actually connect the fields for any company in the database. This particular report actually includes graphs, assets by class, and summations that have been added. Again, it gives you full access to every company in the database and all the fields within that company that you can access. You can literally create any type of custom ad hoc report from scratch. You also have the ability to export an existing report out to Crystal Reports and further modify it. There are even more export options from Crystal Reports than there are in the standard report. For example, you can create a new report, push it out to an HTML file. You can push it out to Excel, Workbook, Excel data only, PDF file, or any of these many choices including CSV format. It really expands the reporting capability. In addition to all of the standard reports, you can modify existing reports and save that as a custom variant. You can create a new report from scratch or export a standard report out to crystal reports and further modify it. Sage Fixed Assets has very robust reporting capabilities.